Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next piece of my podcast. Together we have as a guest Alex Gutz. Alex Gutz. Sorry.
Alex Goods, Alex Gutz. Both is good. Both is good.
Yeah. And Alex is an entrepreneur within the FinTech area, in particular into the crypto area. And we are chief business officer of Banxe, an innovative startup in the area of crypto. We will talk about Banxe as well. And today we'll touch the topic of blockchain and crypto, which was very loud in the recent 2 or 3 weeks due to the crash of a crypto exchange, FTX, and a person of Sam Bankman-Fried, who was a role model current generation American entrepreneur compared to Steve Jobs and so on. And now we don't really know if he embezzled money or not. But there is a big topic about FTX. I guess most of you have heard about it. But before that, many people, most people have heard the word blockchain and the word crypto. And because this podcast is also addressed to people who are not necessarily technical, but work in technology, but also to technical people who are not into crypto, I would like to ask Alex first, what is blockchain and what is crypto really? So that, let's say, a layman would understand it.
All right. Thank you for introduction. I mean, explaining cryptocurrency is always a complex task because different people understand cryptocurrency in different ways. And when you think about cryptocurrency as an utility token or as an asset or as money, for example, all three definitions are great. But in my opinion, not even my opinion, but how I explain cryptocurrency usually to, I don't know, my mother, for example, it's a concept of assets that based on decentralization. So when you think about cryptocurrency and what is cryptocurrency, you just say that it's a digital asset, not a physical one, digital only. There's no physical anything. So it's only in the cloud, which is distributed among network using different computers or different blocks. So blockchain is actually a chain of different blocks which are connected to each other, and they have a piece of information in every block, and that's how you have the cryptocurrency. And there's like, there's so many words to say, like validators, proof of stake, proof of work, and explaining how cryptocurrency and blockchain works. But when you think about cryptocurrency, it's just a digital asset which is not controlled or issued by government, for example, or by any centralized entity, which is right now very questionable because we have, I don't know, for example, Bitcoin is 100% decentralized, right? So there's no legal entity behind Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is 100% distributed among network, among the blockchain. So there's no one who control the entire Bitcoin. And if you own a Bitcoin, like you have one Bitcoin, for example, right? There's no government or there's no one who can take it from you. And that's a great thing about Bitcoin. So actually, when we think about cryptocurrency, the really important thing we need to mention that the concept behind cryptocurrency is decentralization and control of the community, not of the government, for example. So that's the idea.
In history, let's say in world history, actually money was always issued by someone, by a king, by a prince, by the government. I found one example historically about rice stones. These are, let's say, this is system similar to Bitcoin actually, or to crypto. On a small Polynesian island, a community was, let's say, controlling a group of stones.
Okay.
And these stones there was no ledger, there was no registration system. A small community knew which stone is whose, basically, who owns a stone. Even if a stone drowned, because it was, let's say, removed from an island to island, they were treating this, that the stone still exists on the seabed, which it does, surely. And the stones are very beautiful because they are carved with a hole inside and with some inscriptions. So this is the only example I recognize about decentralized money. So, and it was, let's say, it was applicable in a very small community. So now, did we grow up to have decentralized money now, taking into account the situation of FTX? Maybe I don't know if you want, or I may explain, let's say, what FTX crash basically was. Who does it?
Yeah, please go. I will just, you know, maybe I will comment.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell something about it. You are done. So this poster model entrepreneur, Sam Bankman-Fried, set up a cryptocurrency exchange, which is like an ordinary stock exchange, but where you, instead of stock or options or whatever financial instruments, you exchange cryptocurrencies, various cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. And on the other hand, he had an investment company. I don't remember the name now.
Alameda.
Alameda, right? And the exchange borrowed money to the investment firm, which took credit based on secured by crypto, right? Because the exchange, as far as I remember, borrowed money in crypto based on this as a collateral, as SBF, as he's called, borrowed real money, the centralized money, like the government money, and it was. Let's say very many. Let's say I think most of the public is of the opinion that he embezzled money of his investors who invested at the stock exchange. So he took their money, and they stayed without crypto. But he's with real money at the end of the day. So this brought a lot of criticism. So what is your take on it, Alex? On everything.
You know, the thing is that money, I mean, you know, euros and dollars, they're here for like 100 years, and we have some kind of trust to this piece of papers. Or sometimes, I mean, right now we don't have even like a piece of papers. We have like a bank account balance, and you believe you have this money, but like if you go to the bank and you will ask, for example, you have $1 million in your bank account, and you will ask to withdraw this money, you will never be able to withdraw this amount of money and have cash, right? So, but we still trust traditional money. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, people, they don't trust to this concept right now just because it's new. Bitcoin was, it was invented in 2009. What was that? It's like less than 15 years, something like that, right? Yeah. So, and we assume for some reason that people need to trust cryptocurrency when it just existing for less than 15 years. And say, actually, I will come back to FTX situation in a second, just giving you some, a broader understanding of the problem. Bitcoin wasn't the first crypto concept actually. So I found the information on the internet that the first concept of decentralized money, which are secured with cryptography, was invented by some American in mid 80s.
Right.
You know, like that's so actually it's not
Didn't
super
know about
new,
this.
but yeah, it's actually an interesting fact that, I mean, you know, before Swift there was something else which was actually more efficient than Swift, but Swift had just better marketing. You know, like, I mean, there's, you know, a lot of things happening on the market before something gets super hyped and went to the mass market. So, but cryptocurrency is more or less mass market right now. And we all know, we all heard about Bitcoin, we all heard about cryptocurrencies, blockchain, etc. The FTX situation, it's very bad for the market, for sure. It brings a lot of uncertainty to the market right now. When we think about what happened and how one young guy didn't manage one of the biggest exchange in the market. FTX was top 10 exchange in the market, actually.
Maybe even higher.
Maybe top 5, actually, right? Yeah, because they've been on the same level with Binance, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, you know, all these top tier 1 exchanges. And then they just didn't manage their own assets. They in my opinion, the main problem was that they tried to be smart with their money, and they tried to use their money smarter.
So a situation like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When we are producing money out of money.
Yeah,
kind of.
And they decided that they can take their clients' money from the exchange and borrow this money to their investment fund. But their investment fund, like, there was some kind of, you know, misunderstandings, I guess, with this fund, because I was, you know, watching some of the interviews of CEO of this fund. I forgot her name. And she was actually saying that, yeah, we're just investing some money, you know, like, she wasn't really serious about that. And, you know, there were so many signals that something bad is going to happen. And when FTX happened, that's a bad situation. But before FTX, we had Luna. I guess everyone heard about the crash of USD. I forgot the name of their stablecoin. Anyway, they had a stablecoin,
right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the spring or summer, somewhere there. So the stablecoin. So what is stablecoin? Stablecoin is a cryptocurrency backed by any asset. For example, dollars, right? So we have USDT, we have USDC, we have BUSD. All of them are backed by American dollar. So Luna, one of the blockchain developer, they developed their own stablecoin. And they had some kind of Ponzi scheme, and they've been, you know, their average profit yield for staking in their stablecoin was up to 20% or something like that, which is crazy when you think about, like, imagine you giving $1 and in a year you get like 20% extra, that's crazy.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. And one day they just crashed because of the bear market. It didn't work out. The regime didn't work out. And they lost up to 70% or something like that. And Luna, the currency, the cryptocurrency by this issuer, lost like everything. Like, if you had like more than almost 100% of the cryptocurrency is lost, so you actually had an incredible loss. So yeah, and before that we had Celsius. And if you think about the market and you think about the market in general, it's always happening in crypto market, in stock market, in startup market. There's someone who goes bankrupt. There's someone who's, you know, who crashed, everything like that happening all the time. So the situation with FTX is normal situation. Unfortunately, I mean, that's a cycle. I'm not saying that's okay, but I'm saying that that's a cycle which we can see. We have a bear market right now. What does it mean? Bear market means that the cryptocurrency is not really hyped, and the prices of cryptocurrency, they are going lower than they're supposed to be. Then we will have a bull market when all the cryptocurrency will go up. But right now, we are on the bear market, and we see a lot of great, actually, startups and great companies in crypto area. They're just crashing all the time. They don't have investments. They're losing their money. They're losing their employees. So there is a big crisis on this market. But it doesn't mean that the crypto will be destroyed. Like, now, FTX is not going to really affect the entire market as we think. It's a bad situation, but that's a regular cycle, which we need to understand will happen every 4 or 5 years.
I agree. I think that, let's say, yeah, in Poland, where I'm based, Warsaw, where you lived as well for some
That's
time,
true.
it's property prices are falling. I don't know, for the first time since 2005 or so. No, since for 20 years, I would say. There are symptoms. So I'm a bit scared now about the crisis that is coming, that it might be much stronger than the COVID one. But we'll see. Let's say we don't have a
Yeah, the thing about all the crises is like, and people are saying like Bitcoin is that, like cryptocurrency is that, everything, like it's a Ponzi scheme. It's not going to work out. Like, it's done.
It's
Bitcoin
been
is
said
done.
before, but by the guy called Nouriel Roubini, I guess.
Okay.
The one that predicted 2008 and 2009. But he's a kind of they call him a gloom and doom professor.
Yeah, and like the thing is that they all saying that, but back to 2008, no one was questioning, is real estate market will be here after the crisis? Like, why we're saying that? I mean, cryptocurrency is everywhere actually, and the crypto adoption index, like the crypto adoption rate in the world, is around 15%. 15% of the population is using somehow cryptocurrency, using crypto wallets, using cryptocurrency for transactions, for investments, whatever. So back to 2008, no one was thinking that, all right, it's a real estate crisis, so there is no real estate in the future anymore. But for some reason, people think that if there is a crisis on cryptocurrency market, then cryptocurrency is dead and it's not going to be in the future anymore.
Right,
but
please go on.
Yeah, but when you think about cryptocurrency, it has real utility and people using cryptocurrency for transactions. So I was explaining what is cryptocurrency, but the main question, how can I use cryptocurrency? And the best thing about cryptocurrency that you can send worldwide transactions in a second with really low fees. Because right now, if you want to send $1,000 from States to, I don't know, to UK, for example, you need to use a SWIFT transaction, which will cost you few percent, probably few, like dozens of dollars, maybe sometimes hundreds of dollars, and it will take up to 5 days. That's how SWIFT work. With cryptocurrency, it takes seconds. And the transaction cost is it's less than $1 usually. I mean, it depends on the network, on the blockchain you use, but you can use, for example, Tron blockchain. And T-Rex blockchain will cost you less than $1, which sounds actually really, like that's a real utility. If you run a global business and you need to send transaction worldwide, you just send, stable coins, USDT. Takes 5 seconds, for the receiver to receive, and for you there is no cost.
So it's like a big
another thing. And another thing, when you think about traditional bank transactions, you have you can send $10,000. You have some limits, right? With cryptocurrency, there is no limits. If you need to send $5 million, 5 seconds. If you need to send $100 million, it's still same 5 seconds to send and receive the transaction. And the fee is the same. So if the fee is $1 for $10 in cryptocurrency, then it will be the same amount of cryptocurrency fee for $5 million.
So it's like a huge competition for money transferring.
That's true.
Companies like MoneyGram and all that.
Western Union, MoneyGram, all of them.
So this is where Banxe comes, right?
Yep.
To the rescue.
Kind of.
Could you tell us more about Banxe?
Sure. So pitching Banxe is always hard for me, but anyway. So Banxe is an app which unites traditional banking with cryptocurrencies, and we help businesses, crypto startups, global businesses, remote teams, having a banking account with dedicated IBAN, euros, dollars, pounds, and other currencies available to send, receive payments, store your money. And at the same time, we provide businesses with a corporate crypto wallet with 500 cryptocurrencies. So for example, if you're a crypto business, for example, you're a crypto marketing agency with a remote team all around Europe, States, Ukraine, Australia, and Brazil, let's say, right? Let's imagine this kind of big crypto marketing agency. First thing, you need to receive, like if you serve crypto businesses, they usually want to pay in cryptocurrency. You need to receive cryptocurrency as a payment for your services. And when you think about that, there's no solution in Europe for that. There's around like 7 banks that are crypto friendly.
Right.
Not serving crypto, but they are crypto friendly. If you want to open a corporate crypto account on Binance, it will take weeks, not even days. I'm not saying hours. I'm not saying days, weeks and months. I have a client who tried to open a Binance account for 7 months.
Binance is let's say a crypto exchange. Just to explain it to our audience.
Yeah, but Binance is the biggest crypto exchange on the market, and they're doing a good work, but still, it's really hard for they're not business oriented. That's the problem. So yeah, when you're a crypto marketing agency, you need a banking account because you need to pay a salary, you need to pay for the office, you need to pay for computers, for the services, and you need also a corporate crypto wallet to receive payments from your clients. That's the first thing. The second thing, where Banxe can help you, you're receiving to your corporate Banxe corporate crypto wallet this money, and then you need this cryptocurrency for your operational needs. Here we can help you. You just click sell cryptocurrency. There's like one small button on the main page on our platform. You just click sell, and the money is instantly converting into euros or pounds or dollars, depends what you need. And it takes a few seconds, and money will appear on your banking account in Banxe. So your payment account on Banxe, and then you can send money to the third parties. You can use SEPA if you're in Europe. You can send SWIFT if you want a global transaction. So, and also if you need cryptocurrency, you can buy cryptocurrency with Banxe. And for example, as I mentioned at the beginning, for example, you have a team of professionals, distributed all over the globe, for example, in Brazil, States, and Ukraine, and you're located in UK. So you can buy some cryptocurrency. You can buy some stable coin, for example, like you have a guy whose salary is like $2,000. You just, instead of using SWIFT, which will take up to 5 days, as I was mentioning before, you just send cryptocurrency to him with Banxe, and it will appear on his wallet in like, I don't know, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe something like that. So that's the cool thing about cryptocurrency, and that's where Banxe really helps. So if you're a crypto business, if you're a crypto-related business in Europe or UK, we are really great solution for you to have a payment account to pay for everything you need in traditional currencies, and have a corporate crypto wallet to operate with cryptocurrency. And exactly, we are the solution to buy and sell cryptocurrencies.
Sure. That's a great introduction, a great pitch, because let's say we met a couple of weeks before, and I was really impressed with the product.
Thanks.
And let's move from this to, because this is a very interesting topic and actually related to what you've just said. After FTX, some people, let's say, I heard some voices in the business media. We need to somehow regulate crypto exchanges, which is because, let's say, of course, traditional stock exchanges or whatever kind of exchanges, like I don't know, whatever, right? Commodities and so on, like I don't know, soya or wheat or whatever. There are always, let's say, there are also commodity exchanges are somehow regulated in every country. And what is your opinion on that? Because let's say there are some crypto is regulated by, let's say, the models of how community works, proof of work and proof of stake. And could you little bit tell us about what these two models, how they differ? And
so just saying that proof of stake and proof of work, it's not regulating anything. It's a mechanism of it's a consensus mechanism which actually creating a new cryptocurrency in block. It's creating a new blocks in the blockchain, right? So when you think about proof of work, that's the old way of validating cryptocurrencies. And so proof of work, you probably heard mining, right? So people were mining Bitcoin for.
Please little bit explain what mining is.
Yeah, so actually, so that mining is a part of proof of work consensus mechanism. Mining is based on the power of your computer. So you have a mathematical puzzle which must be solved to have a new block created in a blockchain. So how blockchain works? So to validate anything in blockchain, you have a mathematical puzzle, right? So there's a puzzle, and you need to solve this puzzle to create a new block. The thing about Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is finite, not infinite, but finite, right? So, and that's why actually the price of Bitcoin is very high, right? Because there is a very high demand, but not enough supply. And every year it's harder and harder to solve the puzzle. So because Bitcoin is working based on proof of work. And every time if you want concept. To, it's the primer concept. And we have proof of work, which is like more technical, let's say. So it's more physical. You need a physical computer, you need to connect it to network, and you need to solve this mathematical puzzle. And when the mathematical puzzle is solved, you will get a reward for solving this puzzle. When it comes to proof of stake, just mentioning that proof of work is not really environment friendly.
Yeah, that's a big point. Big point.
Yeah, it consumes a lot of energy, and every year it takes more and more power to solve one piece of mathematical puzzle, and the reward is becoming smaller and smaller with every puzzle solved.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. I've read some, let's say, pieces, and you probably have read this as well, that Bitcoin uses the same amount of energy as a country of 10 million. I think it was compared to Austria, I think.
Yeah, probably. And because of that, people were thinking about another mechanism of consensus, and they invented proof of stake. So proof of stake requires staking to validate a block. So what does it mean? Staking is, we can say it's kind of a deposit which you need to give to the blockchain. So you have, for example, I don't know, I'm just thinking, what's a good example? For example, you have Cardano blockchain. It's one of the popular cryptocurrencies on the market. So you have 10,000 Cardanas. You stake it. So it's not right to say you deposit it, but because it's the right way, it's stake. So staking, you give this money to blockchain. You hold this money. You cannot take them out from there. And this amount of money makes you a validator.
Makes
and
you credible.
more, yeah, and you become a validator of blockchain. And every time you, as a validator, validate any blockchain, you get another reward. Same as in a proof of work. In the proof of stake is the same, but you don't need a physical computer. You just need money. So you just need money to buy more cryptocurrency. More cryptocurrency you have, the bigger your reward will be, because it's a bigger chance for you to become a validator if you have bigger staking pool. So big staking pool makes you a bigger validator. It proves the blocks almost the same as a proof of work, but instead of using energy and using, all this computers and big fabrics, when you just go with money. You just need money. You just need to be rich.
Yeah. I mean, I don't follow crypto market that close, of course, as you. But I've read that, let's say, I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, that proof of stake is not yet applicable. So that Ethereum are talking about it for a long time. Did they apply it finally?
They did.
They did.
No,
Well,
nothing. Everyone was like, there was so many people they've been saying, yeah, they will change from proof of work to proof of stake.
Yeah.
And it will change the market. Ethereum will be pumped, but nothing happened actually. Ethereum is like,
did they do it
it's a loser
year?
right now. Yeah, this year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, somewhere around the summer.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because there was, let's say, TechCrunch and Sifted and all that. Let's say they were writing about it quite a lot. Some commentators say that crypto is a solution to avoid inflation, because, let's say, people, a particular community has no interest to print more and more money, just like the government. Would you agree with that?
no. No, I mean, like, the inflation processes that happening in the world right now, they are regulated by government. And I mean, I know that no one is trusting government right now, because during COVID, we printed so much money. And actually, it wasn't regulated. They just decided, okay, we want to print money. And now we have a crisis. Actually, it's not the only reason why we have crisis. There's a war in Ukraine. There's a problem with
food crisis because of the war.
There's a food crisis. There's energy crisis. There's financial crises. So many things happening. So COVID wasn't the only thing, but they printed so much money, and we have one of the highest level of inflation, and we have really high level of official inflation. But when you think about the real inflation for the consuming goods, if you go to the grocery store right now, it's just crazy how prices goes like for 30-40% sometimes. So yeah.
So it's a bit
of
a populist stance that wide adoption of crypto stops inflation.
No, I mean, there's different cryptocurrencies. You need to understand that there's 18,000 cryptocurrencies right now in the market, and some of them have limited supply. So it can be issued only limited amount of cryptocurrency. For example, Bitcoin has limited supply. That's why
you've just mentioned this.
Yeah. But there's cryptocurrency that have no limited supply. For example, Shiba Inu, that's like these doggy coins, like Dogecoin, Shiba. There's like some of others. They have unlimited supply.
Yeah, Elon Musk was recommending them.
I mean, I don't know why he's recommending that. I didn't do my research yet for that. But the thing is that there's different cryptocurrency, and people, like usually when people saying that cryptocurrency is a good way to save your assets from inflation, they usually saying about, some yield solutions, just to get some profit, speculating on cryptocurrency, because actually you can get 20, 15, 20, 30, maybe sometimes 100% of interest per year investing in cryptocurrency, but you also can lose almost everything investing in cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is a high risk investment. You need to understand that. And what I'm saying to everyone who's trying to get into cryptocurrency, do your own research. Never try to invest blindly. That's not good to invest. Like, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone. There's no good advice for you. You just need to do your own research. And yes, with investments, you can get a higher profit, higher interest than you will just deposit your money to your bank account, which will give you 2-3% yearly.
Today, maybe, yeah, probably so.
Today maybe less in some countries, and it's not going to cover even the official inflation. So there's actually no sense to deposit money to the bank right now. But when you think about cryptocurrency, you need to be very careful, because you can get some profit, but you also can lose a lot of money there.
Being on the verge of both worlds with your business, what would be your take? What's the future of both? Traditional money and crypto?
In my opinion, it will be somehow synchronized. So first, cryptocurrency will be regulated. If we want to have a real crypto adoption on the market, we need regulations. We need to communicate with authorities all around the world. We need to explain them what is cryptocurrencies, what are the benefits. We need to educate the market. Right now, we have the process of market education. We need to explain how it can be used, why it must be used, and what are the benefits, what are pros and what are the cons in that case. That's the first thing. What the future of traditional money? They will be more digitalized. I was so surprised. I've been in Germany a few months ago. I was so surprised. They don't accept cards yet. You cannot pay with your debit card in Germany today. You
Really?
need to have cash. Yeah, you need to have cash. If you go to the restaurant, if you go to the store, you want to, you're going to Munich, Oktoberfest. You want to have Oktoberfest beer. You want to have a wurst, a sausage. But you just coming there and like, I have a card, and they're saying, yeah, we don't accept it here.
I mean, in Poland, in big cities, they look at you like you are a kind of a criminal if you use cash.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, it's, let's say, of course, in some village stores, in the remote places, and so on. Let's say.
But still, you in entire Poland, you can use Blik, right? It's the right thing. Yeah, that's a cool feature.
I don't know. Let's say there are sometimes, in some I like to go to some very remote places in North Poland, and I come across, there is a village shop and they don't accept anything but cash.
Okay.
This happens, but this is, let's say, in a village of 200 people.
Understandable.
Or so it's open for 5 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not using cash for the last 5 years, and I don't need it. Like, I'm going to Germany on Saturday, for all this Christmas fairies and having some Glintwein there. I'm taking cash with me because I know that will be impossible to pay with the card there. And that's crazy. But I think that in next 10-20 years, we will see a higher crypto adoption. We will see the regulation. In my opinion, cryptocurrency will be regulated on the same level as stock market. At the same time, we will see more and more countries to have, they will implement cryptocurrency in their infrastructure. We will see more brands and more companies to integrate cryptocurrency into their infrastructure. Because right now, the problem with cryptocurrency, it's really hard to use it as a payment method. I mean, there's a number of companies that provide you with the crypto card. You can pay with cryptocurrency with your debit card. That's a cool feature. but there's like only several companies on the market, and actually Banxe is going to issue.
Do we have such cards in Europe already?
Yeah, there are a few cards. Banxe will launch this type of card in the beginning of next year. At the beginning of next year, we'll have this kind of card. There's Wirex. Wirex is a great company. They have a crypto card as well, a physical one. They don't have virtual right now. Yeah, I believe that we don't need a physical cards. I mean, if you go to Ukraine, for example, you will see that people are not using physical cards. They all using Apple Pay.
Phones.
Yeah, phones or watches, whatever. But if you go around, like if you go to States, for example, people still they still using checks. They still using check bills, which is like, what's going on? So yeah, the future of money and cryptocurrency is all about digitalization and all about user experience. We'll have more user-friendly, cheaper and faster transactions. And more transparent. That's very important. Actually, I didn't mention that, but cryptocurrency is very transparent. People think that cryptocurrency is a great thing for a black market, for drug dealers, for people trafficking. But it's not true, because actually it's much easier to track cryptocurrency than to track real money.
That's a very important thing you said, because this is this accusation that it's used by terrorists and drug cartels is often mentioned.
Less than 2% of all cryptocurrencies used on the black market. So it's a very small amount.
Now let's say the last probably topic, because we are slowly running out of time. Coming aside from the crypto topic, despite his strong American accent, Alex is Ukrainian, not American, which probably everybody thought so far. I had a conversation at this podcast with a former minister of digitization of Poland.
Okay.
Anna Strażeńska, and she very strongly argued. We, of course, I don't want to talk about the war. We know what the war is, or let's say how barbaric Russians are and so on. But that there will be strong, how you call it, strong recovery after the war, and Ukraine is very advanced in public infrastructure, in IT. Like all this, you can, let's say, do everything, let's say, without or very many more things than in other countries regarding like doing official things, let's say from your app on your phone or from by digitally. Yep. And she used even a comparison that Ukraine will be a new Israel, because new Israel is, let's say, very, very strong in tech. Let's say
that's true.
The other Silicon Valley outside the first Silicon Valley, because people have resilience, because people have this corpse spirit and so on, and already some very advanced thinking. What is your take about it?
I mean, I need to agree with that, because I want that to be in reality. Because right now, unfortunately, I know it's not the podcast about politics or about the war, but we know the situation in Ukraine, and we know how tough for Ukrainians right now be there. Because my parents, they're still in Odessa, and they don't have any electricity. Like they have some electricity only for a few hours a day, which is okay. Let's not talk about that. But I'm just giving you the idea.
We can talk, of course, about it, but we all know it, right? I think the world over, right? What's going on?
Yeah, but still, it's important to talk about that sometimes, because I know some people they ask me, like, there's still war in Ukraine. I was like, people, what's wrong with you? I mean, people are there without any electricity, and it's winter. Actually, it's cold. Ukraine is not, it's not Spain, right? So yeah, and thanks to European countries and to all people who are supporting Ukrainians with that, because actually without this support, Ukraine wouldn't stand that far and that long and being that strong as it now. People are strong, but they need help, and there you all need to remember about that.
Absolutely,
So yeah,
fully agree about it.
about Ukraine being a second Israel, I don't think so, because there is no second Israel. There's only one Israel and there's only one Ukraine.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because it's wrong to make this kind of, it's different cultures, you know, like it's like Ukraine is not Israel, and Ukraine is not Russia, and Ukraine is not Kazakhstan, not even in Poland. Like there's like Ukraine is Ukraine. The people are different, the culture different, the approach is different. How people communicate is different. So in my opinion, it will be Ukraine will have its own path to the success. It will be a strong recovery, because I remember back to early 2000s, I've been in some summer camp somewhere in Europe, and people have been asking me like, where are you from? I was like a teenager, and people were asking like, where you come from? I was like, I'm from Ukraine. Where's that? Is it like, I say like, yeah, like Russia, and there's like Ukraine. There's like, wow, there is a country. So it was kids, right? But they didn't heard about Ukraine at the time. After 2008, after the Orange Revolution in Ukraine, some people, they say, oh yeah, I heard about Ukraine. You had a revolution there. Yeah, that's true. And then after 2014, even more people, they recognize Ukraine as a country. Right now, everyone knows about Ukraine. All the cities, what's happening there, like who's our president, who's our prime minister, our ministers, a lot of people from Ukraine right now. And that's a good part of that, right? So people recognize Ukraine. Unfortunately, it wasn't like, I guess there's another, paths to get this recognition in the world, but still. And it will, Ukraine will have its own way, its own path, and it will definitely succeed after the war. And it's succeeding right now. Ukraine is winning.
Absolutely.
And Ukraine is winning not only on the war, I'm not talking about the military part. I'm talking about the culture. I'm talking about talents. I'm talking about people. People in Ukraine show that they are winning. They're winning as a human being. And that's, in my opinion, that's the best thing.
I think that, let's say, if I may add on something, I think that, let's say, the nation matured very much into becoming a civic society. For instance, I remember as a Pole, let's say, roaring 1990s, let's say, transformation from communism to democracy. There was corruption. You could give a bribe to a policeman, traffic policeman. There was, let's say, nobody cared what is about the common good. And unfortunately, I think that, let's say, it lasted longer in Ukraine because of more years of Soviet occupation and Tsarist Russia and so on. But I think that the good thing about this war is that it created civic spirit. So I think that will evaporate corruption. It will, let's say, people. I was really moved by this lady. Probably all of us know the story, whose son was killed, and she gave the money for a playground in her town. The money that she got as an insurance. So I think that this will move very much forward, or already moved. I think, to be very honest.
It is already moved.
Yeah, I think that. So, but let's not talk about such dire topics. I'm pretty.
No, just saying, like, Ukraine has a brighter future than it only could be. Like, I mean, everything will be great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And there.
Yeah, something. I apologize. My internet went down. I think that we are running out of time. I'm not pushing aside the topic of war. As I say, I prefer to do something about it. Rather, as all of us, I guess. And yes, of course, Ukraine will win the war. This is out of question. I even hope that this may happen in the spring or so, and that the Putin regime may crack down. Not necessarily the next butcher will be better. In both languages, Polish and Ukrainian, there is a Turkish word katsap for a Russian, and katsap means in Turkish butcher. But you know, they will start to deal with their own problems, so to say, diplomatically, with their own crap. And yes, but I think that, let's say, tech entrepreneurship will play a big part in the Ukrainian recovery.
That's true.
So, Alex, thank you very much for this conversation. It was great to host you. Hope to stay in contact, and maybe we make some other podcasts in the future as well. And I'm very impressed by Banxe, and all the best with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.